Everyone wants to reach the top. But not everyone is willing to pay the price. Because thrones are not built on glory. They are built on battles no one ever sees. Dawn has not yet touched the crowns of the acacia trees when a roar tears through the stillness of the savannah. It carries 5 miles across the tawny grassland, rolling over the plains like a declaration of war that no living creature can afford to ignore. Every animal on the Serengeti hears it. This is not a rallying cry. It is an unmistakable warning that this land already has a master. On the vast African savanna, power never belongs to anyone forever. Many factions, many strategies, but only one rule endures: adapt or vanish. A lion roars at dawn. Less than an hour later, hyenas have arrived to contest the claim. An elephant walks through and everything falls silent. Within that endless turning, every battle begins with the simplest of things: space to survive. And the first to stake a claim over this vast territory is always the same species. Among all the great cats of the genus Panthera, the lion is the only one that lives in social groups. A pride, typically comprising 5 to 15 individuals, is built from related females, their young, and 1 to 4 adult males. It is the most complex social unit in the entire cat family, where every member's role has been shaped by millions of years of evolution. The males hold territorial control. They patrol, they mark with urine, with scent glands, and with their roar a sound that can be heard up to 5 miles away. A male lion's roar reaches an intensity of 114 decibels, equivalent to a close crack of thunder. A remarkable laryngeal structure featuring square-shaped soft tissue allows them to produce deeply resonant sound without requiring enormous lung pressure. It is a message sent to every nomadic male in the region that this land already has a guardian. But the power of the male lion has its limits. On average, a coalition holds its territory for just 2 to 4 years before being overthrown by younger, stronger rivals. When a new coalition invades a territory, the confrontation is direct and ferocious. If the resident males fail, the consequences are absolute. Loss of territory, loss of the pride females, loss of the cubs. While the males wage war for the throne, the females are the true hunting force. They carry out roughly 80 to 90% of all hunts for the pride. Their coordinated pack tactics allow them to read one another's positions through pure instinct, encircling prey from multiple angles without any visible signal. Success rates hover around 25% for a lone huntress, but rise to approximately 30% when they hunt as a group. Those figures may sound modest, but on the savannah, they are more than enough to sustain an entire pride. And among the most common prey, there is one animal that appears small but is anything but easy to catch: the warthog. The warthog Phacochuerus africanus weighs on average between 130 and 175 pounds, armed with curved tusks up to 2 feet long that can inflict devastating injuries. A rustle in the grass. A lioness presses herself flat against the earth, inching toward a warthog, rooting in the soil, utterly unaware of the danger closing in. Then she launches. The warthog reacts in a heartbeat. But on the savannah, being 1 second too slow is a debt paid with your life. Every lion born on these plains must learn the same lesson. Power is never given, power must be seized, and keeping it is harder still. But lions are not the only species that wages war on this savannah. They are nearly 5 times smaller than a lion. No mane, no roar. But the African wild dog Lycaon pictus commands a hunting success rate of 80%. For comparison, lions achieve just 25, leopards 38, cheetahs 58. The secret lies in a relay pursuit strategy. At speeds of 44 miles per hour, they take turns chasing their quarry across mile after mile of open ground. When the lead dog tires, the one behind instantly takes over. The prey is never allowed to rest until it collapses from sheer exhaustion. A pack typically numbers 6 to 20 individuals, led by a single alpha pair. But unlike lions, decisions here belong to the collective. In 2017, the journal Proceedings of the Royal Society B documented a behavior never before observed: voting by sneezing. When enough pack members sneeze, the entire group decides to launch the hunt. And there is one more thing that sets them apart entirely. The young eat first. The adults eat last. In a world where every species prioritizes the strong, African wild dogs prioritize the future. Only about 6,600 individuals remain in the wild. The IUCN classifies them as endangered. Every pack that disappears is a perfect ecological machine lost to force that controls prey populations, keeping the grasslands from being overwhelmed. But on the savannah, there is no room for mourning. Only those who adapt survive, and the wild dogs are still adapting. Day by day, pack by pack, hunt by hunt. Yet not every creature on the savannah lives by fang and claw. One species has chosen an entirely opposite strategy to stand taller than everything else and to see farther than everything else. The giraffe, Giraffa camelopardalis, the tallest land animal on Earth. A mature bull stands 19 feet tall and weighs nearly 2,800 pounds. Its heart weighs 25 pounds, pumping blood up to the brain through a 6-foot neck at twice the blood pressure of a human being. Their blood pressure reaches 230/180, a reading that would cause a stroke in any person. Yet, a remarkable system of one-way valves within the jugular veins prevents blood from rushing back to the head each time the animal lowers itself to drink. And drinking, that is the single most dangerous moment. Front legs splayed apart, field of vision drastically reduced. A lion needs only 3 seconds. Which is why giraffes rarely drink at all. Most of their water comes from acacia, leaves a food source that their extraordinary neck allows them to access exclusively. In 2021, the journal Nature revealed that the giraffe is not one species, but 4 genetically distinct species, separated by hundreds of thousands of years of evolution. The total population across Africa has declined by 40% in just 3 decades, a silent extinction unfolding with remarkably little attention. They stand taller than any other creature. They see farther than any other creature. But seeing far cannot save them from the slow disappearance of the very ground beneath their feet. The greatest battle on the Serengeti does not begin with a roar. It begins with the thunder of hooves. More than 1.5 million wildebeest, alongside hundreds of thousands of zebra and gazelle, move as a single living river stretching to the horizon. This is the largest land migration still occurring on Earth, thousands of miles each year, crossing rivers, scorched grasslands, and the territories of every predator along the way. Seen from above, the migration resembles an enormous artery coursing through the body of the savanna, carrying life, carrying death, and carrying renewal to every place it touches. But this river of life is not chaotic. It follows an ancient order that scientists call grazing succession. Zebra move first, consuming the tallest, coarsest grasses. Wildebeest follow behind, grazing the fresh new shoots that emerge. Gazelle arrive last, picking the finest remnants closest to the ground. Like a natural three-tiered mowing machine, they transform the landscape as they pass. Soil is churned, seeds are buried, nutrients are redistributed for the season to come. No agricultural system ever designed by humans achieves that efficiency. Nature perfected this system long before humanity learned to plow a field. No single species commands this order. It arose through millions of years of evolution, each species finding its own niche, its own way to eat, to live, to avoid direct competition with the others. But that order comes at a cost. Thousands of individuals every year never complete the journey, felled by exhaustion, by disease, by predators. And their deaths sustain the entire ecosystem. In the midst of the migration, the calving season erupts. A newborn wildebeest must stand within minutes of birth and run within 15. There is no grace period for learning about the world. Stand or die. That is the first lesson, and the only one. The mother turns to lick her calf clean, erasing any scent that might betray them to a hunter. But on the open savanna, where the grass barely reaches a knee, hiding is very nearly impossible. Thousands of calves are born at once, not by accident, but by an evolutionary strategy tested over millions of years. Predators cannot kill them all, so the majority will survive. Sheer numbers are the defense. And it is the movement of these millions of prey animals that serves as the catalyst, the spark for every conflict on the savannah. The cheetah is evolution's answer through pure, uncompromising speed. Its body is a masterpiece, sculpted over millions of years for a single purpose: to reach 70 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. But that speed can only be sustained for roughly 20 seconds. After that, its body temperature soars toward a critical threshold, and the cheetah must stop even if the prey is still within sight. "20 seconds. That is the entire window between life and death, between a meal and hunger." A spine as flexible as a coiled spring. Non-retractable claws gripping the earth like the spikes of a sprinter's shoe. A long tail acting as a counterbalance through high-speed turns. Every detail of this body serves speed and speed alone. In exchange, it has sacrificed strength. It has sacrificed endurance. After roughly 3 months of gestation, a mother cheetah faces nature's cruelest dilemma. Leave her cubs to hunt, or stay to protect them and starve? The cubs lie hidden in the tall grass, scentless, virtually invisible. But virtually on the Serengeti still means they can die. Hyenas, eagles, lions, even leopards, all pose lethal threats to cheetah cubs. The mother must leave to hunt, but every minute she is gone is a gamble with her cubs' lives. And even when the hunt succeeds, when 70 miles per hour has brought down an impala, the fastest animal on the planet still cannot eat. Because the scent of blood travels faster than the wind across the open grassland. And hyenas, or lions, nearly always arrive in time to steal the prize. The leopard is evolution's answer through intelligence and calculation. Where the cheetah uses speed to catch prey and then loses it, the leopard uses patience to catch and keep. It lives alone. It hunts alone, it eats alone, it shares nothing with anyone. It marks its territory with scent and claw marks scored deep into tree bark, a silent warning to all trespassers. A flawless ambush, a precise leap, finished in silence. But the most extraordinary thing is not the hunt, it is what happens the moment the prey falls. A leopard drags a kill weighing 3 times its own body weight into a tree, not out of habit but as a survival strategy refined through countless generations. On the branches, lions cannot reach it, hyenas cannot climb. The kill is secure, and the meal can last for days without a single rival laying claim to it. The clever outlast the strong. That is a lesson the Serengeti teaches again and again, yet one that few in this arena ever truly learn. Two species, the same war, the same territory, but two strategies in complete opposition. Speed traded for vulnerability, intelligence traded for solitude. And both survive because both have found their own niche in the labyrinth of power that governs this savanna. Speed and intelligence, two different answers to the same question. And both are right. But there is one place on the migration route where neither speed nor intelligence offers any help at all. A place where every rule of the land is erased entirely. A few hundred miles to the west, the migration is approaching that very threshold. The Mara River cuts across the savanna like a scar, narrow but deep, placid on the surface but deadly beneath. Thousands of wildebeest crowd together on the steep bank, jostling, trampling one another, yet none willing to be the first to go in. Instinct holds them back on the high ground. And that instinct is entirely correct, because death is waiting below. Beneath the murky water, Nile crocodiles, individuals exceeding 16 feet in length, weighing close to a ton, have already taken their positions. They have lain motionless for weeks, even months, waiting for precisely this moment. No creature on earth is more patient than a crocodile. They can go without food for months on end, simply waiting for a feast they know with absolute certainty will arrive. Then, one wildebeest leaps, and like an avalanche, thousands follow. Chaos. The water boils with thousands of thrashing legs. Dust rises in great clouds. Panicked cries echo across the valley. The first into the water swim desperately. Those behind are pushed in by the sheer pressure of thousands more pressing from the rear. No one chooses their position. Everything is decided by fate. In the water, there are no lions, no hyenas, no pack, no pride, no herd that can protect you. Every rule of the terrestrial world is wiped clean in a matter of seconds. Only the crocodile remains a creature that has survived virtually unchanged for more than 200 million years. It never needed to evolve further. The original design was already perfect. Each strike lasts less than a second. The jaws close with one of the most powerful bite forces in the entire animal kingdom, and they never let go. But the Mara holds more threats than crocodiles alone. The swift current, the slick and treacherous banks, and the crushing pressure of thousands of bodies pushing against one another, all of these kill. Many drown before a crocodile ever reaches them. Those that make it across crawl up the muddy far bank, shattered with exhaustion but alive. Behind them, the bodies of the less fortunate feed crocodiles, fish, vultures, and hundreds of other species. Nothing is wasted on the Serengeti. The death of one species is the meal of another. That wheel never stops turning. The Maasai have a saying, "The land belongs to no one. We are all merely passing through." The Mara River proves it with every migration. And even on the far bank, the battle is not over. A pride of lions waits ready to welcome the exhausted survivors emerging from the river. Nowhere on the Serengeti is truly safe. In the struggle for power on the savannah, size does not always determine the victor. There is a creature weighing a mere 25 pounds smaller than an average domestic dog, yet recognized by the Guinness World Records as the most fearless animal in the world. The honey badger. The name sounds harmless. The reality is anything but. Its hide is roughly 1/4 of an inch thick, and it hangs loosely around the body, causing the fangs and claws of attackers to slide off without purchase. It is nearly impossible to pin down. It is immune to the venom of most snakes. Gets bitten, collapses unconscious for about 2 hours, then wakes up and finishes eating the snake, as though nothing happened. It tears apart beehives, enduring thousands of stings to gorge on honey and larvae. The name honey badger was born from precisely that reckless habit. And here is what may be most remarkable of all. Both lions and leopards, two of the most powerful land predators on Earth, routinely avoid it. Not because they fear defeat, but because the cost of fighting a honey badger far exceeds any possible reward. It will bite, claw, twist, and counterattack without pause until one side gives up and walks away. 25 pounds of muscle and bone, wrapped in a hide that even a lion's fangs struggle to puncture. That is not bravery, it is a survival strategy, honed to perfection by evolution itself. In the power struggle of the savannah, the honey badger needs no size, no speed, only the refusal to be afraid. It walks through the territories of every species, attacks anything that stands in its way, then vanishes into the grass as though it were never there at all. And that may well be the most primitive, yet most effective strategy that evolution has ever produced. But the greatest battle on this savannah belongs neither to the smallest nor to the solitary. On land, an army is assembling in the open. They communicate through dozens of distinct vocalizations, move in coordinated groups, and outnumber any lion pride. The spotted hyena, a name forever burdened with the image of a scavenger, a creature that merely picks over what lions leave behind. But that is the greatest and most persistent misconception on the African savanna. Spotted hyenas are not carrion feeders. They are endurance hunters, capable of pursuing prey across mile after mile without slowing down. And their society operates by a rule that no other large predator employs: absolute matriarchy. Every female outranks every male, no exceptions. The smallest female in the clan still holds more authority than the largest male. The matriarch, the dominant female, controls every critical decision: when to hunt, where to rest, who eats first, who must wait. Her power does not come from physical strength, it comes from experience, from a reputation built over many years. Their communication system is so sophisticated that every sound carries a distinct message. A whoop to summon the clan, a giggle signaling excitement, a low groan expressing submission. The young learn everything through observation and play. There are no lessons, only practice. From the moment they open their eyes, they know who holds power in the clan. And a spotted hyena clan can number 30, 40, even more than 60 individuals. That strength in numbers is something no lion pride can match. When the clan moves, the ground trembles. When the clan attacks, nothing on the savannah can look away. This is where the ultimate confrontation, the climax of every conflict unfolds. Under the blazing midday sun, a lioness is enjoying her kill. And the hyena clan has caught the scent from a distance. They appear. They do not rush, they encircle, slowly tightening the ring, each individual maintaining just enough distance to avoid being singled out. And then the lioness retreats, not in flight, simply backing away, surrendering the meal she herself brought down. At midday, while lions and hyenas are still locked in their dispute, an enormous silhouette appears on the horizon. The matriarch, the eldest cow, leads her family toward the last remaining waterhole of the dry season. She has lived more than 40 years. And her memory is the most precise survival map on the entire savannah. She knows where water lies when everything else has dried to dust. She remembers every path, every drought, every danger, decades of experience passed down through generations of matriarchs. When the elephants reach the waterhole, everything yields. No roar required, no threat displayed. The elephant's trunk, a structure containing more than 40,000 muscle fascicles stretching roughly 6.5 feet in length, is the single most versatile tool in the natural world. Strong enough to snap a branch as thick as a man's handspan. Delicate enough to pluck a tiny seed from the ground. Strength and precision coexisting within a single biological structure, something that modern robotics has still not managed to replicate. Elephants do not need to hunt. They do not need to steal kills. They do not need to roar. They do not need to threaten. They need only arrive. Absolute power requires no display, no proof. Presence is enough. And perhaps that is the true answer to the question, who rules the savannah? Not the loudest, not the most numerous, but the one before whom all others step aside of their own accord. Yet even elephants, these colossal beings before whom the entire savannah shows deference, are steadily losing their living space to human encroachment. The dry season will pass, the rains will come, territories will be redrawn, and the battle will begin all over again. But that cycle can only continue as long as every link in the chain remains intact. The question is not who wins. The question is, how long can this system survive when humanity itself is rewriting the rules? The African wild dog, the most efficient hunter, the most democratic society, numbers only about 6,600 individuals in the wild. The IUCN classifies them as endangered. The lion, whose roar once carried across every savanna, is now listed as vulnerable. Populations are declining severely across the continent. The cheetah evolution's masterpiece of speed also vulnerable, their numbers shrinking on the very lands where they once ran free. The leopard, the most intelligent, the most adaptable, is not spared either. Vulnerable. The common enemy of all is not a rival hyena, not a competing lion, not even the merciless dry season. The enemy is the relentless shrinking of living space as human civilization expands into land that for millions of years belonged to these wild creatures. Fences surrounding farmland sever migration corridors that have existed for millennia. Livestock replace antelope on the grasslands. Conflict between humans and wildlife escalates each year with no sign of abating. The battle for space, the same battle that wild dogs have already lost to lions, is now one that every species is losing to a force that no fang or claw can resist. But the Serengeti is still here, still vast, still wild, and every day the wheel still turns. The sun rises, a lion roars to declare his territory. Less than an hour later, hyenas arrive to challenge the claim. At noon, an elephant passes through and everything steps aside. The wild dogs still sneeze their votes each morning, still let the young eat first, still run their relays across the miles, even as their packs grow smaller. The cheetah still fires off at 70 miles per hour and still loses the kill. The leopard still drags its prey into the trees and still dines alone. Power rotates without ceasing. No one wins forever. Nature does not create kings. Nature creates balance among all. And that balance is more fragile than any player in this contest realizes. Across the entire planet, only one great cat lives in social groups, and only that group dares contest power in ways no other predator has ever attempted. A coalition of 6 males seized 170,000 acres. The new king slaughtered cubs to erase the old bloodline. A dynasty endured for a few years, then collapsed, and the new king rose upon the body of the old. This is the lion, the only species to turn the savanna into a political battleground where every mane, every scar, every roar carries the weight of power. But today's story is not only about power. It is about identity, the force that compels one species sharing the same genome to produce utterly different kings on every stretch of land. Welcome to Nature's Moments, where we explore the most extraordinary stories that nature has written across millions of years of evolution. From the highlands of Tanzania to the Namib Desert, from India's Gir forest to Kenya's savanna, each land has forged an entirely different version of the king. In some places, the crown of mane grows so thick it conceals the shoulders. In others, the mane vanishes entirely, yet the king still reigns. One population once dwindled to just 12 individuals, then resurged to nearly 900. A white variant is so rare that fewer than 13 exist in the wild. One question runs through this entire journey. When the land demands that a king surrender his very crown, what remains? Timbavati, northeastern South Africa, where savanna yields to open woodland and sunlight filtering through the canopy illuminates a coat unlike any lion on earth. White, not albino, the eyes retain pigment, the paw pads hold color. This is leucism, a condition entirely distinct. The cause lies within the TYR gene tyrosinase, where a 260G2A mutation reduces melanin production in the hair shaft. This mutation is recessive. Both parents must carry a copy for offspring to be born with a white coat. The result is a creature of staggering beauty. But in the wild, such beauty is a death sentence. A white coat reflects light, rendering the white lion nearly incapable of camouflage while hunting. On the golden savanna, they stand out like snow in midsummer. Here, identity meets paradox. The very trait that makes the white lion unique is also what threatens its survival. Yet white lions endure, because lions are the only great cat to live in prides, and the pride shields what the individual cannot. When a white lion cannot ambush alone, the pride drives prey toward it. When it is too conspicuous to enemies, the dark-maned lions hold the front line. Still, rarity is unforgiving. Fewer than 13 white lions are estimated to exist in the wild at any given moment. The Global White Lion Protection Trust, headquartered in Timbavati, works to reintroduce individuals bred under conservation conditions back to their ancestral lands. A battle to preserve identity for kings that nature painted in its brightest hue and its most fragile. If the white mane is the rarest, then at the opposite end of the spectrum lies a mane so dark it seems to absorb the night itself. Sunset pours fire across the rim of the Ngorongoro crater, where sheer cliffs encircle a valley spanning 100 square miles amid the Tanzanian highlands. Beneath the dew-laden grass, a dark shape moves slow, commanding, and utterly silent. This is the black-maned lion of Ngorongoro, bearing the thickest, darkest mane in the entire lion world. At an elevation of 6,500 feet, average temperatures hover between 66 and 73 degrees Fahrenheit, markedly cooler than the plains below. And it is precisely that cold which allows the black mane to exist. For the black mane is no ornament, it is a burden. Research by West and Packer in 2002 at the University of Minnesota demonstrated that darker manes correlate directly with higher testosterone, superior health, and greater resilience after injury. But a black mane also absorbs heat. In hot regions, it becomes a curse, draining the lion faster, diminishing its hunting success, and shortening its life. Only at Ngorongoro, where the highland holds cold year-round, does the black mane serve as a crown, not a chain. Experiments using model lion decoys revealed that females consistently preferred darker manes, while rival males avoided them. If Ngorongoro maximizes the black mane, then farther east in Africa, a version of the king has lost something far more significant. Tsavo, Kenya, 3 degrees south of the equator, 8,500 square miles of dense thorn bush, where daytime temperatures routinely exceed 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Here, the mane does not exist. Male Tsavo lions are nearly bald, smooth heads, bare necks, without a single notable strand of mane. Placed beside a Ngorongoro lion, they appear to be 2 different species. But they are one, same species, same core genome. The only difference, the land. Extreme heat combined with dense thorn bush, where every step means threading through walls of razor-sharp thorns, has stripped the mane from the Tsavo lion. A long mane snags on thorns, absorbs heat, and becomes a liability for survival. Researchers hypothesize that testosterone in Tsavo lions remains high, yet its outward expression has changed completely. The hormone endures. Only the crown has vanished. No mane, but greater agility in dense scrub. No visual signal for rivals, but fewer wounds across treacherous terrain. Tsavo has sculpted a bear king, and that king still reigns. This contrast strikes at the heart of the central question: does identity reside in the mane or in the blood? If Ngorongoro maximizes the black mane and Tsavo erases it altogether, then between these extremes lives a lion population belonging to neither. They inhabit the genetic crossroads of a continent. Ethiopia, the highland where Africa meets the Arabian Peninsula, where northern and southern gene flows once converged, leaving their imprint upon a lion population unlike any other on Earth. DNA microsatellite and mitochondrial analysis reveals that Ethiopian lions are a genetically distinct population, the last bridge between Africa's northern and southern lineages. Their bodies are more compact than those of plains lions. The dark mane near black extends down to the belly, creating an unmistakable silhouette found nowhere else. But uniqueness does not shield them from peril. Only 800 to 1100 individuals remain, fragmented across 3 isolated regions: Babil, Kaffa, and Alatash. Each small population lives in genetic isolation, and with every passing generation, the gene pool narrows further. This is not merely the story of lions losing habitat. This is the story of a genetic bridge fracturing, and when it breaks entirely, a portion of the lion species' identity will vanish forever. Conservationists have proposed classifying Ethiopian lions as a separate management unit, acknowledging that losing them means losing irreplaceable genetic diversity, not merely numbers. But the story of near-total collapse, followed by resurrection, does not belong to Ethiopia. Dusk vanishes abruptly over Ngorongoro. In the darkness, the black-maned pride awakens. They rest between 15 and 20 hours each day. Males may sleep up to 20. This is not laziness. This is an energy strategy. Every calorie stored through the long day is unleashed in those decisive moments when nightfall transforms the savannah into the hunter's stage. A lion's eyes perceive darkness 6 to 8 times better than human eyes, thanks to the tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer behind the retina. Moonlight that appears faint to humans is enough for a lion to read every movement of its prey. Tonight, the target is the African buffalo. A mature bull weighs up to 1,900 pounds. Exceptional individuals can approach 2,000. Fused horns atop the skull form a bony shield called the boss, hard enough to withstand a lion's fangs. This is no easy quarry. This is the most dangerous creature Ngorongoro's lions confront on a regular basis. Their dark manes merging seamlessly into the night, the phantoms of Ngorongoro glide silently upwind. They narrow the distance with infinite patience. The instant the prey lowers its head to graze less than 100 feet away, the pride erupts, arrows tearing through the darkness. The lead hunter seizes the nape, channeling full force into a lethal bite aimed at crushing the trachea before the colossal beast can counter. Life and death are decided in seconds. The buffalo falls. Buffalo are not the only target. Wildebeest are frequent prey on Ngorongoro nights as well. Wildebeest can sprint up to 50 miles per hour, but sustain that pace only briefly. The lion's strategy is not to outrun its prey, but to materialize closer, more suddenly, where the quarry has no time to react. At night, a wildebeest's detection range shrinks dramatically, and that is all a lion needs. Each successful hunt, though rare, roughly 20 to 30%, sustains the entire pride for days. Each failed hunt squanders precious energy, pushing the lions closer to the threshold of starvation. Night hunting is a game of probability, and Ngorongoro's black-maned lions have evolved to tilt the odds in their favor night after night. But individual prowess, however formidable, has its limits. In the lion's world, true power belongs not to the individual, but to the coalition. Sabi Sands, northeastern South Africa, 2006. 6 male lions entered new territory, and the history of the African savanna would never be the same. They were called the Mapogo, named after the Mapogo, a Mathamaga security company in South Africa, a name that evokes order imposed through force. Six members: Makulu, the largest, likely a half-sibling rather than a full brother, roughly 2 years older, alongside Mr. T, Kinky Tail, Pretty Boy, Rasta, and Scar. For 6 years, the Mapogo controlled approximately 170,000 acres, double the average territory held by a lion coalition. An estimated 100 lions were defeated or killed during their expansion. Eight prides of females fell under their dominion. This was no fairy tale of kingship. This was absolute domination built upon a coalition of 6 operating as a single military unit. The Mapogo's strength lay not in any single individual, but in coordination. Six adult males attacking in unison, a force no pride could withstand. But absolute power does not endure forever. Internal conflict began to tear the coalition apart from within. And pressure from outside a younger, hungrier coalition was closing in. The Ma-Jingilane, originally 5 males, one killed by the Mapogo in June of 2010. The surviving 4 matured and ultimately replaced the Mapogo, ruling for approximately 8 years until around 2018. The cycle of power, old coalitions fall, new ones rise, is the eternal heartbeat of lion society. But the Mapogo were not the only legendary coalition. Across the continent, another band of brothers wrote their own saga. Maasai Mara, Kenya. 4 males born in 2008 from the Olkiombo Pride: Sikio, Marani, Hunter, and Scarface. The world called them the Musketeers. Scarface, bearing a prominent scar above his right eye, became the emblem of the group. A face that anyone who had watched BBC's Big Cat Diary would recognize in an instant. In 2012, the 4 brothers seized control of the Marsh Pride, one of the world's most celebrated lion prides, filmed continuously by the BBC across decades. They replaced the previous males, Romeo and Claude, and founded a new bloodline, not preserving the old lineage, but imposing a new order, a new generation. The musketeers' territory extended well beyond the marsh pride, encompassing Paradise, Mugoro, Topi Plains, and Rekaro. Scarface died of natural causes in June of 2021, at approximately 13 years of age. A remarkable lifespan for a wild male lion, where the average is only 8 to 10 years. From Mapogo to musketeers, 2 coalitions, 2 continents, 1 law. The power of a male lion is temporary, measured in years, not decades. And every dynasty ends the same way, replaced by a younger, stronger generation. But while male lions battle over territory and mating rights, another struggle unfolds more quietly, yet no less fiercely. The lioness's battle does not unfold on an open battlefield. It plays out in the distance between den and prey, a distance where every step carries the life or death of the next generation. When a lioness has young cubs, her identity transforms entirely. She is no longer merely the pride's hunter, she becomes a mother. The crèche system, where several lionesses raise cubs communally, forms the very foundation of cub survival. While some mothers hunt, others step-powered. Lion cubs are born nearly blind, weighing less than 4.5 pounds, and wholly dependent on their mother's milk for the first 6 to 8 weeks. During this period, the mother hides her cubs in secluded places, dense thickets, rock caves, cliff crevices, far from the pride. The greatest threat sometimes comes not from enemies beyond the pride, when a new male seizes control, infanticide, the killing of the previous male's cubs, is a stark reality every lioness faces. Defending cubs is not only about fending off enemies, sometimes it means defying the new king himself. When hunting, the lioness therefore targets the lowest risk prey. Warthogs, a common target, yet even warthogs pose danger. An adult's tusks can inflict severe injuries. Lionesses often prioritize young warthogs, minimizing risk while securing energy for their cubs. The supreme rule here is energy. A lioness will abandon a chase after just 50 yards of failed pursuit, refusing to waste a single calorie. This is nature's brutal arithmetic of survival. But on the savannah, hunger is not everything. The true threat also comes from other predators, more cunning and faster than any lion. African wild dogs. Packs of 10 to 20 with stamina-based pursuit and the highest hunt success rate among Africa's large carnivores, roughly 60 to 90%. They pose no threat to adult lions. But for cubs, especially when the mother is away, wild dogs are a genuine peril. A lioness defends her cubs against wild dogs, not with speed, but with sheer ferocity. One swipe, one roar, enough to drive back an entire pack. Size is the decisive advantage in direct confrontation. Lionesses are the true backbone of every pride. They remain for life, while males come and go. They pass hunting knowledge through generations, which territories are safe, which seasons bring abundant prey, which water sources are reliable. The lioness's identity lies not in a mane, nor in territory. It lies in the distance between a predator's jaws and her cubs, and the resolve to never let that distance reach zero. If the male fights to claim a throne, the female fights to preserve a bloodline. Two forms of identity, flowing through one species. Yet both male and female share a boundary of power that neither crosses easily. The river, a natural frontier dividing two worlds where two apex rulers meet in stalemate. On the bank, the lion reigns. Beneath the water, the Nile crocodile holds absolute dominion. And at the water's edge, no one is truly safe. The Nile crocodile possesses hardened scales, scutes covering its back and flanks, forming a suit of biological armor. But the belly lacking this armor is its most exposed anatomical weakness. When lions must cross a river to follow migrating herds, to expand territory, or simply to reach water, they are forced to enter the crocodile's domain. This is an interspecies conflict. Not revenge, no complex emotions at play. Simply two apex predators atop the food chain, their territories overlapping at a narrow band of water. Lions typically choose the shallowest crossing, where the current runs weakest, but crocodiles know this too. Both rulers read the terrain, and both wait at the same point. The tension at a river crossing where lions are most vulnerable, where crocodiles are strongest, ranks among the most purely dramatic moments in the natural world. Neither side wins forever. The water boundary endures, and both sides respect it, each in their own way. Where do you think the lion's true identity lies, in its mane, its strength, or its territory? Share your thoughts in the comments below. But all these battles, the night hunts, power coalitions, maternal instinct, the water's edge, unfold across generous lands, where rain still falls, where prey remains plentiful. But when the land takes everything, when rain ceases, prey vanishes, and the coastline holds nothing but bones, can a lion still be a lion? Kunene, northwestern Namibia, average rainfall less than 2 inches per year. Some coastal stretches receive just half an inch. This is one of the driest places on Earth where lions still survive. No migrating herds of wildebeest. No endless grasslands. No shade trees to shelter beneath at midday. Only sand, rock, and an empty horizon. The Namib desert lion is the most extreme test of identity. When the land strips away everything a lion needs, prey, water, shade, what remains? The answer: adapt or vanish. Lions here cover greater distances than any population in Africa, sometimes more than 30 miles in a single night, searching for prey scattered across vast expanses. The Sahara, 3.5 million square miles stretching from the Atlantic to the Red Sea. The largest desert on Earth, where daytime temperatures can exceed 120 degrees Fahrenheit and nights plunge below freezing. Lions once lived here. Then they disappeared, driven out by desertification and humanity. But the desert is not empty. The species that endure here have answered the question of identity in their own way. The dromedary, the one-humped camel, originating from the Arabian Peninsula, domesticated roughly 3,000 to 4,000 years ago. The hump stores fat, not water, a truth many still mistake. The camel's body is an engineering triumph against heat. Core temperature fluctuates between 93 and 108 degrees Fahrenheit, adaptive heterothermy, minimizing sweating and conserving water. When dehydrated, a dromedary can drink between 30 and 37 gallons in a single session. Yet, even the camel, so perfectly adapted, still needs humans. And humans need the camel, an identity shaped by symbiosis not unlike the gyr lion's bond with the Maldhari community. But not every species has a partner. In the heart of the Sahara, one species is counting down its final individuals. The addax, the screw-horned antelope, a survivor that never needs to drink, drawing all moisture from vegetation and night dew. Horns measuring 28 to 33 inches on males, elegantly spiraled, serving as both weapon and heat dissipation tool. Fewer than 100 wild addax remain scattered between Niger and Chad. IUCN classification: critically endangered. Addax disperse seeds through dung and enrich soil by digging for plant roots. Losing the addax means losing not just a species, but a vital link in an already fragile desert ecosystem. Fewer than 100. A number so small that every individual carries a name in conservation records. Every death is counted. Every calf born is a statistical miracle. The addax's identity, the ability to live without water, the spiraling horns, the white heat-reflecting coat carried it through millions of years. But identity cannot stop bullets or the off-road vehicles of poachers. Sunset once again sets the vast African savanna ablaze. The wild sovereign stands in silence across the plains, beneath skies where its ancestors roared through thousands of generations. Nature has always been unforgiving. When survival demands that kings shed their proud outer crowns, what defines them is no longer the mane but the killer instinct and an unbreakable will. Identity lies not in appearance, but in blood. And that wild bloodline will flow on so long as there remains a kingdom for them to belong to. Thank you for joining Nature's Moments. The natural world holds countless stories still waiting to be told. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, now is the perfect time. See you in the next story. Dawn blazes across the boundless grasslands, a kingdom where time is not measured in minutes but in a prey animal's final breaths. At the heart of this legendary land, an empire reigns. But its grandeur has always come at the brutal cost of survival. The lion, undisputed sovereign of these sun-scorched plains, possesses not merely raw muscular power, but carries the weight of an entire royal bloodline. The dominant male stands atop a rocky outcrop, his mane rippling in the wind like a banner of absolute authority, scanning the horizon with unwavering vigilance. His scent marks every blade of grass, an invisible signature reminding all trespassers of the price they would pay. His territory stretches across dozens of square miles, land where every inch must be defended with blood. In the shadows of brittle thornbush, young challengers lurk in silence. They wait, patient, cold-blooded. The average reign of a dominant male lasts just 2 to 3 years before a younger, stronger generation arrives to replace him. His roar carries up to 5 miles through the still night air, a declaration of sovereignty that every creature must heed. But the true power of this dynasty lies with the huntress's silent silhouettes moving through the tall grass with terrifying patience. They hunt in coordinated groups, each lioness occupying a specific tactical position, like players on a field, moving in concert without a word. Hunger is an unforgiving teacher. It drives them to execute high-risk pursuit strategies beneath the scorching sun of the dark continent. Their success rate hovers around just 25%, meaning 3 out of every 4 hunts end in failure. But failure never stops them from trying again. Not far away, a family of warthogs forages diligently in the damp soil, entirely unaware of the death sentence hanging over their heads. The scent of freshly turned earth is enticing, but it is also the very signal that betrays their location. The African warthog possesses razor-sharp tusks and survival instincts honed over millions of years of evolution. Their lower tusks sharpen themselves with every opening and closing of the jaw, a perpetual blade forged by nature's own design. The mother leads her young with extreme caution, her ears rotating constantly to catch the faintest tremors of approaching danger. When fleeing, their tails stand bolt upright like signal flags, a follow me beacon, ensuring the piglets never lose their way. Despite their small stature, warthogs can reach speeds of 30 miles per hour, fast enough to outrun most predators if detected in time. Silence here is often a deceiving illusion. It conceals a storm about to break from behind the dusty thickets. The lionesses have closed in, muscles coiled beneath golden hides, each step as weightless as the air itself. Their coordination is a masterpiece of military strategy, an invisible trap tightening with every second. One cuts off the northern escape route, while a second closes in from the east, leaving no way out. When the distance narrows enough to feel the prey's breath, silence is torn apart by a threatening roar and a cloud of red dust. The attack is over in an instant. A display of killer instinct refined across 1,000 generations. A precise lunge ends all hope of resistance. Leaving a haunting silence across the vast grassland. On this land, the sacrifice of one life is the price paid for the survival of another in nature's unending cycle. The piglets flee in terror toward the burrow, reversing in so their tusks face outward, their very first lesson in the art of defense. And from the shadows, the glinting eyes of hyenas watch and wait, ready to claim whatever remains. As the shadow of the hunt fades, a harsh social order reveals itself under the midday sun. The feast of the sovereign is never a fair or peaceful affair. The male lion approaches with full majesty, using sheer dominance to claim first rights over the freshly fallen prey. This is the privilege of the one who holds power over life and death, an immutable law that has maintained royal bloodlines for centuries. The females must wait their turn, despite being the ones who sweated and bled in the hunt. Yet the scent of blood and fresh meat quickly rouses other opportunists across the plain. Spotted hyenas, predators brimming with cunning, are gathering in the shade of ancient acacia trees. Hyenas are far more than scavengers, as many believe they are formidable hunters in their own right, securing up to 70% of their food through their own kills. Their wild, cackling laughter echoes across the landscape, not joy, but a psychological tactic probing the patience of opponents. They do not rush in, but wait for the smallest opening to seize another's hard-won prize. The standoff between apex hunters and nature's cleanup crew is a battle of wits that has played out for millions of years. Meanwhile, another story begins quieter, but no less heartbreaking. The orphaned warthog piglets, now utterly alone, search desperately for shelter in dark earthen hollows. Without their mother's protection, primal instinct is their only compass between the boundary of life and death. They must learn to tell the sound of wind through dry grass from the footsteps of a stalking enemy. Their survival depends entirely on the speed of their adaptation and the unyielding perseverance encoded in their bloodline. The grassland never has room for weakness, but it always offers a chance to those who rise from loss. Yet what comes next will prove that no throne lasts forever. The reign of a male lion is never built on a foundation of permanent safety. The arrival of nomadic males from distant lands carries the pungent scent of rebellion. They observe from afar, measuring the strength of the current sovereign through every labored breath and heavy step. A battle for power is about to erupt, where fangs and courage will decide who controls the future of the pride. Glory is but a fleeting moment. Challenge never ends. where the boundless grasslands of the Masai Mara merge with the still alkaline shores of Lake Nakuru. Every landscape becomes a living stage for the most remarkable stories nature has ever told. From the sun-baked plains of Samburu in the north to the foot of Kilimanjaro in the south, this is a land where every creature carries within it a story. A story of strength, intelligence, and unyielding spirit. Welcome to Nature's Moments, where we explore the greatest wonders the natural world has to offer. When darkness descends upon the grasslands of the Masai Mara, the eerie call of one of Africa's most misunderstood predators pierces the night, the spotted hyena. A creature as adaptable as it is intelligent, whose reputation rarely captures the depth of its behavior or the sophistication of its social life. Contrary to popular belief, spotted hyenas are far more than scavengers. They are skilled hunters and true masters of survival. They live in tightly structured clans, led by a dominant female, the matriarch. She enforces order and directs the group's strategies. Some clans number over 80 members, each with a defined role within the community. Cooperation lies at the heart of hyena society. Mutual grooming, playful cub interactions, and constant communication strengthen the bonds between members. While some guard the territory, others hunt or care for the young. The division of labor is impressively systematic. Muscular frames, the strongest jaws among all mammals with a bite force of 1100 psi and a distinctive spotted coat, make them unmistakable. Forelegs longer than hind legs create their characteristic sloping posture. Powerful necks allow them to drag and dismember large prey with ease. Though often associated with scavenging, spotted hyenas are exceptional hunters. Their diet ranges from carcasses to animals they bring down themselves. Working in teams, they can overpower large herbivores such as wildebeest or zebras, and even young buffalo, displaying impressive coordination and persistence. Hyenas are also born strategists. They know when to strike and when to wait, ready to challenge lions, yet wise enough to know when to retreat. Their communication is astonishingly complex, a rich combination of sounds, body postures, and scent markings that convey messages across the clan. Their infamous laugh is not amusement. It is language of alarm, frustration, or social ranking. Recent research reveals that hyena social intelligence rivals that of primates. They solve problems collectively, recognize individuals by voice, and remember allies for years. Beneath the moonlit skies of the Masai Mara, spotted hyenas do more than survive. They rule the night with cunning, strength, and formidable intelligence. As the darkness of night yields to the first breath of dawn, another sound begins to rise across the grasslands of the Masai Mara. The deep, resonant roar of the African lion. That sound carries up to 5 miles, a declaration of power that no creature dares ignore. Lions are the only cats that live in social groups. They organize into prides, where every individual plays a role in the survival of the whole. A typical pride consists of several lionesses, their cubs, and a coalition of dominant males. The lionesses form the heart of the pride. Their unity is forged through mutual grooming, coordinated hunts, and the shared duty of raising the next generation. The males, with golden manes and commanding presence, embody authority. They patrol their territory without rest, marking boundaries with scent, ever vigilant against intruders. Challenges from rival coalitions or from opportunists like hyenas and leopards are trials of courage that define their reign. While the males guard the borders, the lionesses are the true strategic minds. They move through the tall grass, communicating with subtle gestures and instincts sharpened over millions of years. Their patience is unmatched. They wait for the perfect moment to strike. And when they do, the savannah erupts in a surge of power and grace. When the hunt succeeds, the feast is shared among all, a reminder that in this world, cooperation is the key to survival. Raising cubs in such an unforgiving environment is a challenge that never relents. The lionesses share the duties of nursing, protecting, and teaching. Under the watchful eyes of mothers and aunts, the cubs play, explore, and begin to absorb the unwritten laws of their kingdom. How to move unseen, how to sense danger, and how to understand the hierarchy that governs their lives. These early lessons shape instinct and character, preparing them for the trials ahead. When they mature, the young males are eventually driven from the pride to forge their own path. Some form coalitions with brothers or peers, embarking on uncertain journeys in search of territory. Only the strongest and most cunning will one day claim a pride of their own, ensuring that the ancient cycle of challenge and legacy endures. But the story of the Masai Mara belongs to more than lions. Each year, this savanna becomes the beating heart of one of the planet's greatest spectacles, the Great Migration. More than 1.3 million wildebeest, joined by hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles, cross rivers and confront predators in an endless journey toward greener pastures. Along the banks of the Mara River, a vast congregation of wildebeest and zebras gathers. At the water's edge, their perilous journey nears its climax. One by one, they begin sliding toward the bank. The crossing must begin. The current is fierce, but retreat is not an option. Hidden beneath, dark shapes wait. Nile crocodiles, ancient predators, armored by hundreds of millions of years of evolution. Jaws engineered for a single purpose, to clamp shut and never let go. Bodies stretching up to 16 feet. These are the undisputed rulers of the river. During migration season, the Mara becomes their hunting ground. Submerged in the murky water, they wait with cold patience. And when prey plunges into the water, the crocodile erupts from below. One snap, one death roll. It's over in an instant. In this race for survival, every moment decides fate, and the river knows no mercy. Not all will make it across, but the herd presses forward, driven by instinct and the promise of life on the other side. In the end, the Masai Mara reminds the world of a timeless truth. Only the strongest, the swiftest, and the most determined will endure. Along the winding course of the Mara River, tranquility often hides beneath the surface. This is hippopotamus territory. Where calm waters can turn into zones of tension and dominance in an instant. These semi-aquatic giants spend most of the day submerged, shielding themselves from the fierce African sun. Eyes, ears, and nostrils positioned atop their massive heads allow them to remain nearly invisible underwater while staying alert to everything around them. Yet the importance of hippos to the Mara ecosystem extends far beyond their imposing size. Each night, as darkness falls, hippos emerge from the water and move into the surrounding grasslands. They graze the vegetation short, preventing overgrowth and maintaining open areas that benefit countless other species. Their nutrient-rich dung acts as natural fertilizer, nourishing both soil and water, sustaining a fragile chain of life from tiny aquatic organisms to the large herbivores that depend on these plains. Beneath the still surface, however, lies a world governed by strength. Hippos are fiercely territorial, particularly the dominant males. Each defends his section of the river with unwavering determination, patrolling constantly and watching for any sign of intrusion. When a rival dares to cross the line, confrontation becomes inevitable, a dramatic display of power in the heart of Africa's wild waterways. Dominance rituals among hippos are both spectacular and intimidating. With jaws wide open, the males reveal their massive tusks, some stretching up to 20 inches. Their bellows echo above and below the water. In seconds, calm waters erupt into crashing waves, swirling foam, and raw, unleashed power. These confrontations are rarely fatal, but they clearly define who commands the territory and who must yield. Such is life in the realm of the hippopotamus, a precarious balance between serenity and conflict, where stillness can become thunder in the blink of an eye. Leaving the ground behind, the skies above the Masai Mara reveal another world, a living canvas of sound and color. Dawn does not merely wake the predators. It fills the heavens with a symphony of song and shimmer. Among the acacia branches, A flash of iridescent light reveals a winged jewel, the lilac-breasted roller. Its plumage, a stunning blend of violet, turquoise, and emerald, gleams under the African sun as though the sky itself had descended to rest upon the earth. Watchful and precise, it perches high, waiting for the faintest stir. Then, in a sudden burst, it dives with flawless accuracy, seizing its prey. Its diet is remarkably varied, ranging from large insects like beetles and grasshoppers to small lizards and even young snakes. High above, vultures soar on warm thermals, their broad wings stretched across the sky. They are the silent custodians of the wild nature's own sanitation crew. With extraordinary eyesight, they can detect death from miles away. Their powerful stomach acids destroy harmful bacteria and toxins, preventing disease from spreading. Within that stark purpose lies renewal. The unbroken cycle of life, sustained through death. Farther north, nature unveils one of its most breathtaking spectacles. Along Kenya's alkaline lakes, Nakuru, Bogoria, and Magadi, the horizon transforms into a living sea of pink. Millions of flamingos gather in the shallow waters, tinted by algae and microorganisms that give their feathers their vivid hue. Under the blazing sun, the shores shimmer as though the world itself were aflame in shades of rose and crimson. These tireless travelers live in harmony with the seasons. Following the rains, flamingos migrate according to water levels and food supply. Slender legs and graceful necks embody elegance. Their uniquely shaped beaks filter food from the mud with astonishing precision. Their feet stir the lake bed in a silent dance of survival. The life of a flamingo is a story of endurance and motion. They face predators, drought, habitat loss, and shifting climates. Yet their tenacity mirrors the indomitable spirit of Africa itself. For as long as Kenya's pink lakes persist, the sky will continue to reflect their beauty. A living symbol of hope, painted by wings that turn the air into poetry. Right upon those alkaline shores, where the pink hue of the flamingos retreats to give way to the grasslands, another symbol of hope stands tall, the white rhinoceros. Prehistoric giants that seem sculpted by time itself, with thick armor-like skin and impressive horns. They embody the raw strength and endurance of Africa's wild heart. At first glance, their massive frames and deliberate gait evoke sheer power. But beneath that formidable exterior lies a peaceful creature. Guided by calm instincts and a natural sense of balance. The white rhino is a gentle grazer, patiently spending most of its day feeding on the short grasses carpeting Nakuru's open plains. Its broad, square-shaped mouth is perfectly adapted for trimming grass close to the ground. By keeping the grass short, these rhinos play a vital ecological role, maintaining the balance of the savanna and allowing countless other species to thrive. Unlike its more solitary cousin, the black rhino, the white rhino is a social animal. They are often seen in small groups, composed of females and their calves. Mature males are fiercely territorial, marking their domains with dung mounds and scent. Despite their strength, serious conflicts are rare. Confrontations are most often resolved through warnings rather than violence. The young remain under the constant watch of their mothers, learning early the essential rules of survival, how to sense danger, locate hidden water, and navigate safely through tall grass. For the first 3 years, the bond between mother and calf is unbreakable, a relationship of tenderness, protection, and discipline. At Nakuru, the white rhino is more than a survivor. It is a symbol of hope. The park has become a vital sanctuary for their recovery, thanks to strict protection measures and round-the-clock patrols. Community-based conservation programs also play a critical role. These combined efforts have allowed white rhino populations to stabilize, rewriting what was once a story of near extinction into one of resilience and renewal. From where in the world are you watching this documentary about Kenya's amazing wildlife? Let Nature's Moments know in the comments below. But life within the lakes of the Great Rift Valley does not unfold on land alone. Leaving Nakuru behind for the fresh waters of Lake Naivasha, an absolute sovereign now rules the skies, the African fish eagle. Spanning more than 54 square miles, this shimmering lake, fringed by papyrus reeds and acacia forests, shelters a thriving avian ecosystem. Among its most distinguished residents is the African fish eagle, the undisputed monarch of these skies. With a wingspan exceeding 6.5 feet and striking plumage of white, chestnut, and black, its very presence commands admiration. A masterful hunter. The fish eagle possesses vision so sharp it can spot a fish glinting below the surface from great heights. With powerful precision, it dives swiftly, talons extended to seize its prey, a perfect embodiment of nature's strength and design. From the skies of the Masai Mara, the journey leads north to Samburu, a land where life persists against all odds. Across sun-scorched plains, rocky hills, and thorny acacia trees, every creature fights to survive in an unforgiving wilderness. The Owasso-Nyiro River winds through the heart of this dry land, the sole lifeline that sustains it all. Born from the slopes of Mount Kenya, Its russet waters carry life to a place where death seems to hold the advantage. Among Samburu's most remarkable inhabitants stands the reticulated giraffe, the true emblem of this rugged region. Its coat, patterned with a delicate network of white lines over a rich orange-brown ground, looks as if painted by nature's own hand. Graceful and silent, they feed on the highest acacia leaves. A prehensile tongue measuring up to 18 inches, dark blue-black to resist sunburn. Deftly plucking foliage while avoiding thorns, a skill honed by millions of years of evolution. Calm and social by nature, reticulated giraffes live in loose herds, where mothers guard their young with absolute vigilance. Males engage in ritualized contests, known as necking, entwining their necks and delivering powerful blows to assert dominance. A display where apparent elegance conceals astonishing strength. Beyond their beauty, reticulated giraffes play a vital ecological role. By pruning the acacias, they stimulate new growth, keeping the savanna diverse. Another jewel of the African savanna calls Samburu home the Grevy's zebra. Its coat, a masterpiece of fine black stripes over a pure white background, paired with large rounded ears, sets it apart from all other zebras. Every pattern is unique, like a fingerprint. No two are alike. Perfectly adapted to arid ecosystems, the Grevy's zebra has developed specialized grazing habits and social structures to thrive where water and food are scarce. Herds composed mainly of females, and their foals travel vast distances seeking fresh pastures, while males guard small territories near water sources. But behind that beauty lies a troubling truth. The Grevy's zebra is listed as endangered by the IUCN. Only about 3,000 individuals remain worldwide, over 90% of them in northern Kenya, Their disciplined and cooperative behavior reflects an ancient harmony with the harsh rhythm of Africa's dry lands. In the dense thickets surrounding Lake Bogoria, one of East Africa's most elusive creatures moves like a whisper, the greater kudu. With a slender frame, golden-brown coat adorned with delicate white stripes, and magnificent spiral horns stretching up to 6 feet. It stands as one of the continent's most graceful and admired antelopes. Shy and secretive, the greater kudu avoids human presence, preferring to roam during the cool hours of dawn and dusk. It feeds on leaves, shoots, and wild fruits, using its long neck and nimble tongue to reach high branches. In the midday heat, it remains hidden among the bush, relying on camouflage to evade predators. Solitary males join females only during the breeding season. They engage in ritualized contests, locking their spiraled horns to compete for mating rights in displays of strength rather than true violence. The females, smaller and hornless, devote themselves to caring for their calves, keeping them hidden in the undergrowth until they are strong enough to move with the herd. To witness one in the wild is a fleeting privilege, a moment when nature reveals its most noble and mysterious face. From the arid reaches of Samburu, the journey carries us south to a world entirely different. Amboseli, the land of giants, resting at the foot of Africa's highest peak, Mount Kilimanjaro. The elephants of Amboseli live within tightly knit family units, led by a matriarch, the oldest and wisest female of the herd. Her memory serves as a living map of the land. She recalls ancient routes, watering holes, and hidden food sources across decades. Her wisdom ensures the survival of the group, even through the worst droughts. Within the herd, social bonds run deep and enduring. Every member participates in a complex web of affection and cooperation. Elephants greet each other by touching trunks, communicate through low-frequency rumbles beyond human hearing. They display remarkable empathy, comforting the injured, protecting the young, and even showing silent reverence for their dead. Their days revolve around the eternal quest for water and food. Amboseli's wetlands provide cool refuge and abundant vegetation. Using their trunks, nature's most versatile tool, elephants pluck grass, spray dust, bathe, and play. The calves, ever curious, mimic their mothers and aunts, learning every move that will one day ensure their survival. Yet life in Amboseli is not without its challenges. Droughts, predators, and human conflict remain constant threats. Still, under the matriarch's wise leadership, the herd adapts and endures. Each season becomes a lesson in perseverance and collective memory, an ancient dance between life, land, and water that sustains Africa's gentle giants. More than 400 bird species inhabit Amboseli's vibrant ecosystem, each adding its own sound to the chorus of this land. As the sun sets over the Masai Mara, the golden light fades into dusk, and the roars of lions echo once more across the plains, the heartbeat of the wild. A timeless symphony of strength, family, and majesty that defines the untamed spirit of Africa. Kenya is more than a destination. It is an encounter with the planet's purest essence. And there, among the tall grass, beneath the glittering stars, the phantom remains the leopard. Still patient, still silent, still continuing its eternal dance between life and death, between dawn's first light and the last glow of dusk. Unseen yet ever present, like a whisper carried by the winds of dawn. Thank you for joining Nature's Moments. The natural world still holds countless untold stories. We'll see you on the next journey. Under the fierce African midday sun, life itself seems to pause. The air, thick and shimmering with heat, turns the horizon into a watery mirage. The sun, a dominant orb of fire, scorches the earth, compelling most creatures to seek sanctuary. This is a time of silence, of waiting, a time of conservation, when the whole savanna seems to hold its breath beneath the weight of the day. A pride of lions is at rest. Leading them is a veteran female, her body a living map of countless hunts and battles for survival. Each scar etched upon her weathered face tells a story of courage and of loss. She does not hunt for herself. Behind her, sheltered by the dense thicket, lies the next generation. The cubs, carefree and playful, are as yet unaware of the harshness of the world they have entered. Their very existence depends entirely on their mother's skill, her experience, and her eventual success. Hunger, a primal and relentless driver, now stirs within her. The pride has not had a significant meal in nearly 3 days. Energy is dwindling. The pressure is mounting. As the sun begins its slow descent, a subtle change ripples across the plain. The searing heat yields to a gentle, cooling breeze. The transition is more than a change of light. It is a shift in power. The stage is being set for the drama of dusk. With a soft, almost inaudible grunt, the command is given. The other members, younger and stronger, understand instantly. They rise and stretch, muscles rippling beneath tawny coats. The hunt has begun. Their coordination is a symphony of instinct, honed over thousands of generations. Not a sound is uttered, yet each individual knows its precise role. They are not merely hunters, they are the architects of the ambush. A herd of plain zebra, their striped coats, one of nature's most curious displays of camouflage. Contrary to common belief, the stripes are not for blending in with the grasslands. They create an optical illusion known as dazzle camouflage, making it difficult for a predator to single out an individual from the chaotic mass once they begin to move. But the lead stallion does not rely on illusions. He relies on his acute senses. His ears can detect the snap of a twig from hundreds of yards away. His sense of smell can detect the scent of a lion from a great distance, should the wind turn. He is the herd's early warning system. The old lioness knows this. She has faced such sentinels countless times. She knows that patience is not merely a virtue, it is the ultimate weapon. And then, the one thing every hunter fears, a sudden gust of wind. A betrayal by the very air. The scent of the predator, however faint, has been delivered. The lead stallion's head snaps up. He sounds a piercing alarm snort. In a fraction of a second, tranquility becomes pandemonium. The chase is over before it has truly begun. Precious energy has been wasted, an opportunity lost. This is the unforgiving reality of life on the savannah. As they move across a more open expanse, a strange, almost maniacal cackle. The spotted hyena. Often dismissed as opportunistic scavengers, the truth is quite different. They are supremely effective hunters, with a bite force powerful enough to crush bone. Their societies are ruled by females in a complex and ruthless matriarchy. And they are the lion's ancient enemy. The competition between these two species is one of Africa's oldest and most bitter rivalries. They do not just compete for food, they compete for territory, for power, and for the right to exist. It seems these sworn enemies share a common goal. A Cape buffalo, nicknamed the Black Death. It is one of the few prey animals that will readily stand and fight a lion. Its boss of horns is a formidable defensive weapon, and its temperament is notoriously unpredictable. A full herd can easily repel a lion attack. But this buffalo is alone, and he is old. An injury has given him a limp in his gait, slowing his pace. He has separated himself from the safety of the herd, and in that moment, he has sealed his fate. Both lions and hyenas have realized this. A tense standoff unfolds in silence. Who will make the first move? The old lioness does not hesitate. Her decision is made. This time, the attack must be faultless. She signals the pride, and they begin to silently encircle their prey. The decisive moment hangs in the air. The entire savannah seems to hold its breath.